everyone. As I have been introduced, I am Yolanda Mabuto. I am glad to be here today and to be sharing my topic with you at this forum. My topic basically is about career path development for professionals or career women. So the background really is based on the stats that was done by IPR in terms of looking at the representation of women in positions in South Africa. As alarming as it is, 28% positions are held by women out of 100%. And also, further on, 12,000 businesses in South Africa had no women at the top level positions. This is a shame. This is something that needs to be looked at. We are here today to try and see how we can improve these numbers. Further on, the stats showed us that even in parliaments across Africa, not only South Africa, women are underrepresented. So when you look at the representation of women on the boards of African companies by region, from the largest to the smallest, we look at Southern Africa, which is 20% represented by women. We're looking at East Africa, which is 16% represented, 11% West Africa, 9% North Africa. So basically on this workshop, I am hoping that we will be able to explain why continuous development is important for women. We need to find ways to identify how we can enhance our growth as career women. How can we recognize the advantage of networking for development of women in Africa and globally as a whole? We need to find ways to develop our career path. What is the skill that we need? We need to increase awareness of networking resources. We know there's power in networking. How can we explore and exploit those resources of networking? So I'm hoping that by the end of the day, we'll be able to walk away with those points that I have reflected. Well, in order for us to understand who we are and where we want to go, we must be able to master ourselves. So hence self-mastery for career development is important. You must understand that process. So the process goes from knowing where you are, knowing what your current position is, knowing what you are doing in your own business if you are an entrepreneur. It also looks at deciding, now you know where you are, where do you want to go forward? What are the steps that you need to take? What are the goals that you need to keep? Once you have set those goals, we have goals on a daily basis. You set your goals for a day, for a week, for a month, for 6 months, 6 years, up to 10 years. It is important for you when you want to grow your career to have those goals that you set for yourself. Then after you have those goals, you ask yourself, how do I then get to next step? That is strategizing. You revise and review continually because things change, time change. So you have to continually revise and review your goals and see if you are still on track. So this cycle is an unending cycle. You can't say I'm done because you constantly have to review, revise, plan up to, up until you get where you want to get. Having mentioned those processes that we need to look into as we are growing as women in our careers, it is also important that we understand the features of personal development plan. If you don't have a healthy lifestyle, it might be a bit of a challenge for you to deliver or to be productive at what you are doing because your lifestyle is not healthy. Family activities are very, very important. You need to understand, how am I being supported by my family? How do I support my family? So that is also part of the features of a personal development plan. Lifelong learning, we never stop learning. We learn every day, we learn every minute. And it is also important that you're not only looking at learning when you want to go and register at a university. There's power in self-taught. There's power in reading books. There's power in these workshops that we are attending right now, because we are learning. Because what you are learning today, you will take back with you and impact where you are coming from. So lifelong learning is vital. When you start a career, you start because you've got this degree or this diploma or whatever qualification that you have, and your mind is set on doing that. But when you get into the business world, you find yourself doing something else that might interest you. Hence, it is said, it is a journey with many paths that you find yourself in, because you learn from those journeys or from those paths. And it is a journey towards harmony of life. When you do what you love, you get harmonized because you love what you do. You enjoy what you do. You wake up every morning feeling excited to tackle your next challenge. It is a self-directed process. Like I said, you need to first want to be developed. Nobody can develop you if you do not want to be developed. So it is a process that you yourself have to take and agree with yourself that you are taking this journey of developing yourself. Yes, along the way, you will find people who will help you. You will find mentors. You will find sponsors, which are very great and helpful in career development. But firstly, you need to know what you want. You need to agree that you want to be developed. It is a journey towards happiness. When you do what you love, you become happy. We look at life career, which is the career that you have chosen. We look at occupational career, which is things that are outside the scope of your career, looking at your family, looking at the context of the family, what is the structure of your family. We look at consequences that might affect your career, the work attitude, the perception of work, the quality of life that you are living. These are the important patterns and nature of career development that we need to be aware of. So, however, we do have challenges as women as we climb the corporate ladder. Discriminatory promotions. We must be promoted because we deserve to be promoted. We must be promoted because we can do our jobs. We must not be promoted because they feel pity for us. We must show up and be confident in what we do. Because when you're promoted because you feel like they pity you, at some point you lack confidence because you're not sure if you can do this thing. But when you are being promoted because of your job, because of your outstanding work, you're getting inspired. So these are the challenges that we come across with as women, and that we need to be aware. We need to go back to our environment and share these challenges and find ways of how can we curb these challenges, how can we impact positivity in these challenges. So education is important for us, and training, be it is internal training at work or any type of training that you feel is a gap in your career path. You need to undertake it so that you can perform better. Planning is important. So if you don't plan for your career, you might not know where you're going, but when you have a plan, you continually review, am I still there? Am I still on the right track? So cultivate and project confidence. It's important for us to be confident in whatever that we do, because when we show up and people are judging us on our actions and how we show up. So confidence is important for us women, because as I've said, we are always compared to a man who wouldn't have done it like that. You are doing it like that because you're a woman. But when you do things confidently, people don't really question you that much because they see that you know what you are doing.